Welcome back. Chapter 3. Just like that, the chapter of the 3D world as she once knew it is now closed to Bella. Now begins her full-time immersion in this 4D world. She is no longer a mere visitor. As a visitor, she was captured by the beauty, by the mystery, by the growth. As a visitor, the river provided accommodations that made her visit effortless. She was given a mask and a breathing apparatus so that she could remain in a state of awe and wonder. It's not meant to be a deception either, though. The river was not lying or misrepresenting. While the supporting tools provided a form of rose-colored glasses, it's designed that way on purpose. The payoffs of life in the river are exactly as promised. The expansion, the ripple effects, the sparkle of the light. It's actually even more than promised. Bella's initial perception, being simply a sliver of its potential, was factual. Some call it a glimmer of hope, a promise of serenity, peace, success. The label does not matter. What matters is the fire it plants in your soul. It provides the fuel to navigate onwards towards it. It's provided for this exact point in the transition. An obvious but overlooked moment. Now that Bella is fully immersed in this 4D world, she is considered one with the world. Ergo, she is no longer a visitor. Only visitors are allowed supporting tools. So, how is Bella supposed to breathe? This realization shocks Bella. Not only that, it prompts all sorts of frustration and anger. Why did no one warn her? Why was she not taught? How is she going to survive this? And when will the hurdles and the hardships cease? She just finished experiencing a mental and emotional obstacle. And while it felt excruciating for her heart, at least it was not a situation of life or death, like this moment. This moment here is life or death. Bella's frustration and anger stem from the perceived unfairness. She's already proven herself. She's already done the invisible work. This seems awfully backwards for the physical surrender to follow the spiritual one. One would think that the order would go physical, then spiritual. In a twisted way, it's also stupidly logical. Logically, the 4D world teaches us to surrender the 3D world using the power of the 4D world. This means that the internal resilience for thriving in the 4D world must be built first. Strength lies within, as they say. The shedding of the physical must therefore be the last step. Logically, this now makes sense. For the stubborn Bella, she's still allowed to not like it. Even if it's just for a moment. Even if it's herself that she's frustrated with for not seeing this part coming and thinking that the hard part was complete. Thank you. That's the kicker, isn't it? This pesky and delicate thing that stands between us right now and the expansion of that 4D world of the river. Wouldn't you know, it also happens internally, currently immeasurable by modern 3D woodland tools. Yet it's the crux of the 4D world. That's why the preparation for the 4D world immersion is designed to build the internal resilience muscle. It's meant to become a reflex of intuition and surrender. So, Bella thinks, looks like the only choice is to surrender once again, this time to the way of the river. If thinking is the only thing standing between here and there, what does she need to change her thinking to? First and foremost, she can no longer think the way that she used to in the woodlands. Hooray for yet another surrender to add to the pile. The 3D world operated under the laws of gravity, So that was the thinking required. It needed to be understood that what goes up must come down. The lack of gravity in the 4D world was precisely one of the elements that appealed to Bella. So what laws do they follow? Well, from what we know, the intensity of the vertical gravitational plane works differently. Being surrounded by water in literal all directions means another plane of direction for movement. There's this whole concept of flow also. One can be completely stationary physically in the river and yet be moved by the flow of a current within. Is that it? Was the tool there all along? Within. As within, so without. As above, so below. That thinking must be key. In order to get there externally, we need to match our here internally accordingly. When the inside matches the outside, they become one. So now what? Now we have to do what the river demands us to do. The river has been clear and honest with Bella all along. She never lied, nor did she misrepresent anything. The disconnect did not exist in her thinking. Her thinking was never the problem. Through her thinking, the answer has been revealed from the start. The disconnect instead existed in her perspective. When she was growing up in the 3D world of the woodlands, Bella's perspective was influenced by the things she saw with her eyes and touched from the external sensations of her body. She grew up with the tools for a 3D perspective. Well, guess what? The 4D world of the river demands a 4D perspective. Go figure that one. I know. What a wild concept. Now, believe it or not, we already have the tools to shift this additional dimension of perspective. That's what the whole process of building internal resilience has been about. So, let's go back a moment and collect the puzzle pieces that our thinking has provided to us along the way. We just finished identifying how we need to match our internal to the external. We are aware that the river has the ability to move us with its current while we remain still. A continuous message is the importance of surrender. After all, what benefit comes from trying to fight against the river's current? It's best to surrender. The preparation for transitioning from the 3D to the 4D world required building that sense of internal resilience as a way to prepare Bella for the way of the river. The sound of surrender begins to play her delicate melody. It begins to gently caress Bella, confirming that she's on the right track. It encourages Bella to let go of the one-to-one efforts of the woodlands. That type of control serves well in the 3D world. The 4D world of the river commands one-to-many efforts, though. Or should we say, one-to-many impact. Allowing the flow of the river's current to carry the ripple effect to where it's meant to go. As Bella leans into the sound of serenity that is surrender, the sound of her soul calling, she is transported through time once again in the click of a moment. She's brought back to the beauty she first saw of the river, the areas that entranced her. The river spoke to her in a language that Bella didn't yet comprehend, in a perspective that Bella didn't yet comprehend. Bella filtered the message through her 3D level of comprehension. In the process, its message was diluted. In fact, the sparkle of the light in the river was a message in and of itself. The potential of expansion that the river promised was a message in and of itself. The river's ability to flow was a message in and of itself. Its power to nourish the woodlands from the inside out is a message in and of itself. The message was there all along. The melody of its message is just now being heard and understood by Bella for the first time. So, what is this mysterious message, you may be wondering? Well, it's one that cannot be compared to anything, after all. It's Bella's soul calling for her. with its melody of serenity. It's to be understood only by Bella. Lucky for you, Bella has been gifted with the tools of translation. Perhaps the best way to currently describe the message is to redirect your perspective to the undercurrent of the journey itself. This means that in order to surrender to the 4D world of the river, one must listen for the sound of its invisible, in-between life force. Thank you for listening to my story.